Hello everyone. So yes, at the time I'm posting this video, it's the hit holiday. So even if you don't celebrate it, think about sending a little message to your Muslim friend to mention it. It always makes them happy. Today's video is a bit special. I'm testing out a new concept inspired by Louis-san's videos. I really enjoy those explanatory videos about Japan, and I thought I could do the same about my own culture and country. So if you like it, don't hesitate to like, comment and share. And I'll decide what to do next, based on the stats. This concept requires a bit more research and time to prepare, so I hope you'll enjoy it, and I'll leave you now with the video. Oriental culture, and especially Maghreb culture, is full of legends. You've probably heard of some of them, like Abu Qasim's slippers, 1001 Nights, Ali Baba and the 40 Thieves, or even Aladdin and the Magic Lamp. Stories that are quite different from the classics like Cinderella and Snow White, with a different atmosphere and a different message. Among all these urban legends, one remains a pillar of this part of the culture. Any person of Moroccan origin could tell you the very famous story of Aïcha Kandisha. Aïcha Kandisha is to Moroccan children what the White Lady is to French children. It's a legend that's told at night to scare ourselves, but on the other hand, this story probably doesn't have the origins you might imagine. Halfway between a mermaid and an ogress, Aïcha is a woman of unparalleled beauty. Hiding under her long clothes, goat, camel or mule hooves, she is known for seducing young men or unfaithful husbands, and then eating them after they've committed fornication. She appears in many works of art, paintings, songs, poems, books and even films. And we'll come back to that later. Would you believe me if I told you that Aïcha is actually a heroine? The daughter of a notable from a southern tribe, she holds the title of Layla, which is the equivalent of a noble title in an eastern country. She is therefore known as Layla Aïcha. She is described as being very beautiful, somewhat like Snow White. White skin, full red lips, almond-shaped amber eyes, and very black hair that reached down to her hips. She lived in the city formerly known as Mazagan, which is now called El Jadida. This was in the 16th century, during the Wattasid dynasty. At that time, Morocco was weakened and prey to European invaders. After conquering Agadir, the Portuguese set their sights on Mazagan. Aïcha then put her plan into action to stop the invaders. She would go out to seduce the Portuguese soldiers and lure them into an ambush where Moroccan resistance fighters would attack them. One day, the Portuguese discovered her scheme. They arrested her entire family, and to carry them out in a spirit of vengeance, she decided to personally kill every soldier she managed to trap. The Portuguese, fearing that her courage would inspire other women to do the same, began to spread the rumor that she was an evil jinn, turning her into the legend we know today. In Islam, a jinn is the equivalent of a spirit. It's another civilization that we cannot see. They can be either good or bad, just like human beings. The only notable difference from spirits is that they do not belong to a tormented soul, an object or an animal. They are truly beings in their own right. In fact, that's where the name Jinbei in One Piece comes from. It's inspired by the jinns. But let's get back to the main topic. It was the Portuguese who came up with the name Condesha. It's a distortion of the word countess, which is Condesha in Portuguese. Sorry if I'm pronouncing it wrong. And that's how the activist became a bloodthirsty monster. However, the Moroccan nomadic peoples kept both versions, passing them down orally for more than 5 centuries. She is notably mentioned in the film Kandisha by Jerome Cohen Oliver, released in 2010, which tells the story of a young woman accused of her husband's death, but who claims it was the jinn who came to avenge her for the abuse. It's a bit like in the earlier era. Why did you refuse the court-appointed lawyer? I was waiting for you. If I tell you that a spirit killed my husband, a mysterious spirit called Kandisha. Are you talking about the legend? It's not a legend. She was locked up for 10 days with barely enough food and water to survive. How do you explain that? Rage? Fear? Are you telling me my wife is going crazy, doctor? The film is in French, so if you want to see it, go ahead. To be honest, I didn't watch it. Anything supernatural, but if you're interested, you can find it pretty easily on the internet, I think. There are many songs and poems that sing the praises of this woman, choosing to keep alive the memory of the heroine she was. So, what do you think about it? To be honest, I already knew this story, which had been told to me many times by my grandmother, my aunts, and my mother when I was younger. But rediscovering it with an adult or almost adult perspective makes me realize just how powerful the message behind this story is. For me, since I always saw Moroccan culture as very sexist, the underlying message of this tale really shocked me. It's an incredible example of women's emancipation, and it's still the most widespread legend. It's the story of a strong woman, and for once, it's the men who are blamed for not being able to remain honorable. Moreover, it's a very good way to warn against rape. I mean, no one can know who Aïcha really is. And also, I find it really impressive that the original story managed to reach us despite all the distortions. Nothing proves that this woman ever existed, but to me, she was as much a heroine in her life as in her death. Now that you have the information, it's up to you to decide whether you want to believe it or not, but keep in mind that every story draws its inspiration from somewhere. And that's it. I hope you really enjoyed the video. As I said, the format is totally copied from Louis' Son. If you prefer this kind of video, don't hesitate to let me know by playing with the stats. Of course, I feel obliged to point out that this story is not at all 100% certain. It's really based on hearsay. Apart from the context, there really aren't that many historical facts. In any case, if this story interests you, I recommend looking into it because there are lots of different versions and it's super interesting. I hope I was able to help you discover lots of things through this video, and with that, see you next time, and kisses!